Okay, I thought that I would go over aspects of the head once again. So I'm going to renew a project I did of the skull um, where it's made of multiple parts and it's kind of simplified. So this will be our starting point. The sculpting the portrait assignment was not where I thought it would be as I saw the assignments coming in, so I thought maybe it required more instruction from a different angle. What was missing was structure, and the idea was that you'd sculpted the skull already, and that would have been your intro to actually sculpting a human head. So I think this time we're gonna literally use that skull to construct um, the head. Um, all right, so the first thing to do probably is see, I'm going for a skull already. We've got the cylinder, we've got the sphere, and we're trying to find the shape of the skull within these two objects by just using these two objects. And maybe that's pretty good proportion there. This angle, I'm wondering if we could do something tricky with the let's see. Sometimes you could do something tricky like this. And then tilt it back. That's a pretty steep angle, but let's see. Maybe maybe a little bit smaller. Come forward a little bit. Maybe you could come a little bit wider. That might not be too bad, you know. So we're going to copy the sphere. Copy. Bring it forward. This is going to be more or less the forehead, so we're going to scale that down. Something like that. Let me see if we need to scale it up. Yeah. So what I'm trying to do is the modeling techniques in the sculpting the celebrity portrait. It was pretty clear like I said, there was a lack of structure, and the sculpting tools, the use of the sculpting tools was not carrying the piece. So we have to go back and create things in a structural manner, and it's not about the modeling of it. It's about making sure you have these very structured forms underneath it, and we're seeing how far we can go with this. So let's get a add another cylinder. I thought maybe for the cheekbone, so let's see, scale down, scale forward. So we want to bring this down a little bit lower, probably something like that. And probably that width is not too bad because the wide point is up here, the top area of the skull, the parietal eminence, then the cheekbone, and then the jaw. So this still comes in with this, so might be able to bring it in just a little bit. And I'm wondering if we can do this, elongate it a little bit. to bring it back towards the ear, the auditory canal. Let's see. I wonder if we need to, before we do any tricky angles, we'll duplicate that. Take it to the other side. Since there's no symmetry on this thing, we have to be careful about what we do. I think we could probably, let me see. That's not too bad because it at least takes the cheekbone all the way to the back, and I don't want to worry too much about getting realistic with it. Like, to do that in the past, it took multiple spheres to get the form. The beauty of SculptGL is they give you more than a sphere. You got the cylinder, you got cubes, you got everything. So you could probably get away with using less objects to create your form. And that's what we're hoping to do here. So there's that. Let's maybe see what the torus adds to it. Let's bring it forward, scale it down, tilt it. This is for the nasal, what I'm thinking. And sometimes it's easier if you get what you're trying to do to look a little bit more like what you want it to early on. Then it's easy to build around it. So maybe that. Actually, let's see. Let's try something different. Before there's an angle, let's do that. And then we can angle it. That way it's got more of that angle of the nose a little bit there. Although that one was very interesting. So let's try this. It's not the upside down heart shape, but that's okay. We could live with that. I'm wondering if that's the way to make the eye sockets, or if we could kind of get clever with the eye sockets in a different way. Let's see. I wonder if we do this, just to kind of give it a little bit more of a. Let me test that out. Maybe a little bit. Okay, so so far that's a skull, right? That's probably enough of a skull. Let's keep going. Let's add a cube. What I'm thinking is maybe the jaw, like the body of the jaw. Let's see. All right. So we do have kind of this 4 o'clock angle already happening. So this jaw, this body of the jaw right here, it could just be vertical. Let's find out if I need to bring it forward just a little bit, maybe. And we could do one for the other side as well, so we'll copy that. Alright, so what I'm thinking now is to angle that a little bit. We could so we can angle this one. Alright. I'm just being nitpicky. Sorry. So far not too bad. We could add I think maybe we could add a cube for the chin right here. Really, if we wanted to do it right, it would take two forms to do that. We'll try to just do it with one form. That's the mental protuberance right there. I guess we can angle it so we can get rid of that back here. That's fine. Let's see. To me, the only thing really necessary now is, I mean, we could do more with that cheekbone. It does kind of come up, it's thinner up here, so if we wanted to, we could copy and add a second part to it. What we could have done, actually, we could have done what we did to this. And just for experimentation, let's see what happens if we do that. Let's see. Oh, didn't it? Okay. All right. That might be a little bit better. That angle's pretty steep though. It's pretty steep backwards, but it's not horrible. That way you have the bottom of your eye socket there. I wonder if we could do... Nah, we're not going to get too fussy about it. What I had before is fine, but this seems to be a little bit more dynamic, so we'll go with that. Now it's like, what do we do to get the eye sockets? We could try to add a cylinder here just to get a little bit more of the bridge of the nose. That might help us figure out the eye sockets a little bit. We don't want to come out that far. I don't even know if we need that. Let's just skip it. We'll delete it. What do we do with the eye sockets? Let's try a cube. Scale it down. Let's tilt it forward. I think I want to angle it out. Let's test it. Probably angle it down. Yeah, we could probably do something like that. Let's go Control Z so we get it squared up. So we're going to copy it, bring it over to the other side. We'll try to do this again. Maybe too many angles are not good. Let's try to just do the one. Well, the eye socket tilts kind of in a way. So we can angle this out probably a little bit more towards the nose. It angles, it slants up towards the center. And so maybe we can move this in more towards the center. Let's see if we could do the same here. I mean, granted, this is a little bit abstract, and there's other ways to deal with this, but now it's a matter of trying to match it, all those angles and everything. So we're going to tilt this, bring it towards the center. I'm not going to worry about it being symmetrical too much, because if that bothers me, I could take it into Sculptress and make it symmetrical. So I'm not going to get too carried away. Alright, so there's that. Probably if we add the brow ridge up here, that'll soften up those corners a little bit. Let's see. So we could add sphere. You do that. Let's see if we copy it. Yeah, maybe I do add that cylinder in there. Let's see. We can tilt it. Maybe. All right, so there's that. Looks like this could come up a little bit more. I wonder if we could, if those eye sockets are in the center. It looks like it could be taller up here. Maybe this is too long. So maybe we can move that up just a little bit. So that the eye sockets are more towards the center of the head. That seems okay. This seems a little wide. Let's, because if you want the width from of your teeth to be center of the eye sockets, so we could. Well, what we have is two different things going. We have this width is pretty good for the jaw, but we're missing the teeth, representation of the teeth. So maybe see if we could do a compromise. There's that. Maybe we connect something here. Let's go with, we have to do the mastoid process underneath here, which is kind of a sphere would do that. So we'll add a sphere, small. And probably this could be a little bit more like that. Come up a little bit more. come in. Let's see. It's a puzzle. I'm trying to make the parts fit. Let's see. So we'll copy that. It's called the mastoid process, and we connect neck muscles from that. So it's pretty important. Looks like I have a discrepancy with my cheekbones there. Let me see. The teeth could come out, so I'm wondering if this gets wider. Well, I thought I would do a simple move on that. So what we could do is we could, this is where we could kind of use the grab tool, just so that or the move tool, so that we don't keep adding parts. So here I'm going to bring the teeth out a little bit. And then we could probably do the same with the jaw. Let's see, we got symmetry on, so that helps. We could do wonder if there's a more graceful way to do that. All right, so that's, it's not maybe as graceful as I wanted it, but it's okay. And we could probably, well, what else do we need to worry about on this thing? I think that's probably enough. Let's select everything. And remesh it. And see what we end up with. I know this can be done in Blender. Blender has those same shapes. You can do it in Mesh Mixer too. Sculptress really only gives you the spheres, so but the advantage there is that it'll lay things down symmetrically for you quite easily. So all right, here we go. Now we're gonna smooth it out, see what we have. Let's see. I have my smooth up kind of high, I guess, 75, which is probably okay because this is so extreme. It's on symmetry, so that kind of helps. Now it'll deal with all this stuff in a symmetrical way. This back here is not anything, you know, it's obviously it's not filled in like that. I wouldn't worry about trying to get that to look realistic. That's not gonna, you're never gonna need to sculpt that area unless you're sculpting a skull. But this is really meant to be a base form for the human head for us. So let's see. This corner's a little sharp right there. All right, so you know that's what we have for the skull. We could kind of compare it to an actual skull if we wanted to, and you know, make things a little more accurate if we wanted to. I'm not going to get too worried about that. I think I'm just going to probably save it as is and work from there. All right, so I'll export it. Geometric skull. All right.